thought I hit the overlay button on the Stream Deck. Turns out I didn't. However, happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? We're Thursday. You're listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 206. We're in patch 7.3.5 for what I predict is not a whole lot of time. Tonight, we're going to be talking about all the crazy World of Warcraft news that has happened since early in the morning. Woke up to a lot of hectic. We knew it was coming anyway because of the pack situation, so that's not really shocking. PvP updates happened. I feel a rant coming on. Maybe. Release date announcements. Guys, we got a lot of just stuff that's random to talk about. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here. My button's not working.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there are those who defy convention, the proud who laugh in the face of trolls and never flinch, the few who strive on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve, they who eat tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you She Can Start a Revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell the PWNCAST Vanguard. Through light and darkness he commands the void, Remedies the Sage Lore Master. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Hello, people of podcast land. This is Winstallin speaking, and Winstead from the Technically PvP podcast, and you are listening to the PWNCAST podcast.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, I just want you guys to know that I did, in fact, not have my Stream Deck software running in the background. So when I was hitting buttons, it wasn't doing anything. That's how this day's gonna go. It's already been arguably one of the worst days of my life, but that's okay. We're gonna keep on trucking and we are going to push forward. Guys, we were supposed to have a guest today. He had a lot of hectic stuff going on. I think he's in the middle of a mythic something or other. So we'll just reschedule him for another time because of work and me needing to go to bed, and I have release stuff that I have to do after the show because we release around midnight. I couldn't move the show any later because of that. So we will continue with that on another time, which is okay, honestly, because, you know, I am not... You're really ghostly pale, Rem.
You're ghostly.
Your camera's like not the... I'm telling you, you messed with stuff on your computer. You tried to convince me that you didn't, but like you're like...
I'm always pale.
I know you're pretty pasty normally. Welcome back, guys. I don't know if you know who we are, but we are High Mountain. My name is Belle, if you are new, and I have my co-host with the pale most, Remedies.
The river provides.
The river does provide. That's probably like one of the quotes that's probably going to stick with me forever. Like, I don't know that I'll ever forget.
No, one of the most philosophical quotes from a boss is actually from Tectus in
Even the Mountain Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one of my favorites that I don't know that I will ever forget either. So, guys, this week for your reset, which is April 10th on Tuesday, there is the Battleground bonus event, so go in there and do the cha-cha and get your stuff. There's extra honor to be acquired, so definitely take advantage of that situation. There's no PvP Brawl next week. Hopefully you guys have already got a chance to go to the current Brawl, which is...
ongoing until Monday, so...
We're going to try to cram it in last minute on Monday because we haven't had a whole lot of... Well, he's moving, and I have not had a whole lot of time to do anything fun in my life ever. So there's that. I don't know why he held that tape up. That was kind of weird, right, guys? Like, what are you doing with that? Who's in the closet behind you? Because that's really...
that'd be duct tape.
I just think it's super weird
that... tape would work a lot better, but I'm moving, so I was like, hello?
I see a closet behind you. You're a nerdy white guy, and you have tape. I'm not trying to, like... stereotype here, but I feel
If you hear the murmurs, just ignore it.
That's it's a little weird. I'm not gonna judge, guys. So yeah.
Sound like...
What did you call me?
What?
Are we gonna fight right now? Let's fight. Let's fight. Guys, I really want to get into a fist fight. Does anybody want a fist fight?
Let's go.
Anybody?
Fisticuffs. I'm down there. Let's go.
Like, so my saying this last week has been, I want a fist fight. Not like I'm just saying I want a fist fight. Like I'm texting you like I want a fist fight. No, I really want to brawl. Like maybe with some nunchucks.
Let out some steams, yeah.
Like a trash can lid, if those still exist. You know, the old school metal trash cans. Like I'm talking street style, dirt in your eye, biting your elbows type of brawl. If anybody's down, tweet at me and let's do this because...
I'm more like Dale from King of the Hill. Packet sand.
More like Boomhauer because you mumble a lot.
Wow.
That's not the first time you've heard that either, right?
No.
No, that's not the first time you've heard that. Guys, I don't know if you have been paying attention to the goings-on in World of Warcraft, but stuff has happened. So...
What?
I just want to make sure for the record that we remember when Bell had been saying like July, August for expansion, and there were some individuals who were like, nah, I'll totally like bet you. Cool. I'll bet you. I don't know who I bet. I have to go back and look through the comments, but if I bet you and I'm right, I'm gonna need you to be like, Bell, you're the greatest.
Step up, own to your shit.
Yeah, like you're better than Ali, great. I just need you to say that to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just need people to know.
That's going a little too far. Better than Ali.
I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Wasp.
No.
Scorpion.
Daddy
Longlegs.
Float like a manatee. Sting like a... I don't know.
Oh, honestly, I love Ally McBeal. Whenever somebody talks about Ally McBeal, I get super excited because I found that there's not like a huge fan base for Ally McBeal, but I super like it.
Who's Ally McBeal? Anyways,
so, yes, August 14th is when we can expect BFA to be live. Now, we knew that there was going to be something announced at PAX because it seems like they're doing this at all of the big events that they have, you know, and then they had a press day regarding BFA.
Yeah.
We didn't get invites because we don't get invites to those kind of things. But all your important people did get invites and were able to get interviews and stuff, which we're going to talk about some of those interviews that Wowhead was kind enough to round up. But maybe my invitation got lost in the mail. Do you think?
No.
No, I don't either. Can I pretend that it got lost in the mail?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I guess we're not really considered media per se because we don't, you know.
I mean, that'd still be your fault, though, because it'd be in your spam folder or something.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think anybody emailed me, but that's okay.
It can't get lost because...
Yeah, and that's totally okay. I'm not bitter or salty about that because I feel like, you know, I wouldn't ask the hard-hitting questions that everybody else asks. And when I say hard-hitting, I hope you guys pick up on my heavy sarcasm. I'd be asking the questions that people are not allowed to ask, and I'd probably never get asked back. So I feel like in the interest of avoiding that whole scenario, it's probably best that I just don't.
Yeah.
Because I would ask questions that they don't want to answer because the answers are like...
Still in development kind of thing, yeah.
It's working as expected. That's my favorite answer from anybody. It's working as intended or as expected. Good to note. No other Noble Garden's going on right now, so make sure you go eat your chocolates. You know, go stab bunnies. Is that what you do? Are you stabbing them? What are you actually doing with them?
No, you collect the eggs and kill the bunnies.
I mean, no different than, you know, well, I don't really know that happens in real life. I don't know what people do with their bunnies, but,
Whoa. I don't, on that note, kind of off topic, but I don't see the point in having a pet bunny. Like, that is the most pointless animal to have. By the way.
I don't know that I've ever thought about it. Like, bunnies are super cute, but they're only cute when they're tiny bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the big fluffy bunnies are very scary and remind me of, like, a show or a movie or something I watched where, like, the bunny was a rabid bunny and, like, ate people.
Monty Python.
Maybe,
Quest for Holy
maybe.
Grail.
But I just, like, remember bunnies are... I had a friend in high school who, her family, like, always had bunnies. Like, the mom bred them. And, I'm pretty sure they tried to kill me in my sleep. But I don't really have proof of that. And I don't like telling a lot of people because then people are like, wow, Belle probably needs some medication. Which, they wouldn't be wrong. So, BFA, August 14th. Now, what does that mean?
It means it comes out on August 14th.
It means, while Ian said a couple of weeks was what he said before the launch of BFA that we would see the pre-patch. Here's the thing about that. I still stick to my guns that we're going to see the pre-patch in June. Maybe it's the end of June. Not really sure. Maybe development-wise, it'll get pushed back to, like, you know, July perhaps. But I still feel pretty strongly that we're going to see something in June. I could be wrong because I'll never admit that to King and Country, but I could be. But I'm still going to go with that. I'm going to go with that because some of the stuff that was talked about, which I need to find all the stuff. I need to find my thing I wanted to pull up. So he talked about what we're going to be doing for the pre-patch. Let me find it so that I can make sure that I don't quote illy. Did I lose the notes, guys? This is what happens. I lost the frickin' notes. Goddamn. I know we're going to be doing, like, the story from Horde and Alliance side, right? Guys, let's just kill me today because I'm just slacking. Today is just not the day of days. Hold on, I'm gonna get right now.
The pre-patch will be the events of Tajossil and Lordaeron.
Right. So really, I didn't want to say the one word, which is the only reason I made you do it. Am I not smart, guys? Am I not
You can
smart?
say it Aldrasel, but not... Aldrasel is more complicated than Teldrassil.
I can't say any of those things, guys. Like, that's just not a thing for me, and I'm okay with that. I know my limitations, and that happens to be one of them. So,
Whoa.
What?
Just kidding. I misread something.
So we know that we're going to have 6 allied races per faction in total for BFA. Let me make sure I got that number right, but I feel like it was 6. Yeah, 6 allied races total. So what we know, are those all the ones that were talked about?
Well, if you're reading what I was confusing, I'm pretty sure that's reputations because it says emissaries.
Is that not allied races for the emissaries?
Well, because it says 2 neutral factions, Tortolans and Voice of Azeroth. Voice of Azeroth going to be a race.
Okay, then I don't know anything, really. Wow, I don't know anything. But the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Kultiran humans for the Alliance side, the Magar Orc and the Zandalari Troll will be coming in BFA. So for the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Zandalari Trolls, I think, aren't we getting those, like, there's a quest chain that you have to do and you'll acquire those. And then later on in the expansion, I guess, is when you're going to get the rest. But I want to make sure. I guess I didn't take as good a notes as I thought I took.
So yeah, Kultarians and Zandalari will be part of, like we said, the island expedition.
Right.
Not the expeditions, but the island questing.
Right.
And after that, you can unlock it, and then the others will be much later.
Teldrassil. Is that right? Teldrassil?
Teldrassil. It's all the same thing.
Teldrassil. Fuck, man. Yeah, I didn't say that whole thing because I wanted Rem to say it. I've been trying to practice it for like 4 days, and he asked me the other day how I said it. I'm like, I'm not even going to tell you how I pronounce it in my head. I think it's like Tedrassil or some weird shit. They made fun of me. It was a good time. It's always a good time. At my expense, of course. So with that. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about there, but we are going to see that story, and I think I would like to see that story need to take a little bit of time to tell. So I'd like to see like a month and a half before that we get to kind of unfold that story in. I don't really necessarily want the whole thing at once. I'm fine with them maybe pacing out, questing each week or something leading up to it. I'm totally fine with that. So like, that wouldn't be that big of a deal to me if we had to pace out the content, honestly. I'm not going to cry about it. I feel like they would save me from myself anyway. Because honestly, I feel like we kind of gobble up stuff quickly. And 5 minutes after something is live, everybody's pretty much done with it. So I feel like it's a good rule of thumb for them to kind of save
gating
us.
content just to gate content isn't really fun either, though.
Well, I don't think it's just to gate it. I think it's just, like I said, I really believe it's to save people from themselves. I don't know. I like the way that they did the...
Well, if that's the case, what they could do then would be, like, for instance, when you have the insurrection for a Surmar, where you had each week something would unlock, that's okay. But, like, for instance, when we did the Silithus, well, I can't talk today, Silithus stuff, like it's a little bit of questing, and then all of a sudden it's just over. We aren't learning anything about the artifact weapons. There's nothing going on at the moment. Like, that's not good at all either.
I think the gating that they did with the I called it Sithilus for a really long time. I think the gating that they did for that was actually kind of dumb because there wasn't enough there to gate.
Yeah.
Like, so for this instance, for pre-patch, I would like there to be enough there that, maybe there's like a huge part of this opening story that maybe we have to take a week to process it before we can move on. But I agree. I think if there's something minuscule there, like Silithus, that didn't make any sense that they gated that because it was important, I'm sure, and I'm sure that all the lore people will agree that we needed that little part to tell that story, but I feel like it didn't. I don't know. I don't want to be a naysayer, guys. I'm trying to be positive, so I don't want to be negative. I'm already going to be enough negative when we start talking about this PvP shit, but I'm trying to be like super Sally, everything is awesome. With that, Sally would like to report that guys, I hate to be the one. Oh, crap. Sorry about that. That's the reminder that we're supposed to start the show, but my reminders are an hour off. So the remote auction house
that was like 2 months ago.
The remote auction house is retiring, guys.
No, it is taking a small hiatus. It's taking a senior vacation in Florida till it returns.
Well, you'll still be able to use your WoW Armory app for whatever, talent calculators, and I use it for the event calendar sometimes when I want to know what's going on in game if I'm not like by Bertha.
Guild chat usually.
So I guess the APIs that some community sites use will be unaffected. To keep an eye out on like pricing and stuff like that, but they don't mention anything about it ever coming back. So I don't know if maybe they're pulling it down to revamp, but don't want to tell us.
Unless it's completely broken, there's no reason for them not to bring it back. Because I mean, it
says it'll be deactivated. Like it says it's the title is the remote auction house is retiring. It doesn't say the remote auction house is going to.
Well, they wouldn't say that either. They would make it seem like it's going away for good because.
When they pulled it down recently, they told everybody.
Well, that's because they're actually intentionally trying to fix it. Whereas now they're just like, let's. In my optimism, I'm like maybe they're overhauling all the apps and making them a lot better because the WoW Armory app has been shite since it was made.
Well, you might be right because there might be some type of integration regarding BFA stuff, right? So whatever that looks like, especially with the RTS element, there might be something going on in the background there. But here's the thing. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. If we're panicking, don't panic. It is super convenient for me because I don't like going to the mailbox and taking out all of my auctions. I like doing it from my phone because it's less work and I can do it, you know, in my ruse without hairbrushed or anything. I don't have to get up and come upstairs to be productive, but I can live without it, and it's really going to be okay. All your normal community sites and any API that's running to track what the auction house prices are and stuff like that, all that will still continue to work.
So like the TCG websites and stuff like that.
Yeah, the API is going to continue to function as normal. So I think you know, it's gonna be okay. And really, I hope the focus for BFA is so much so that we don't miss it. Maybe there's going to be so much going on that we don't miss it. And the Legion app was an excellent addition to this expansion. And I think realistically that they knew that that Legion app was going to function during, you know, this
Future
specific,
endeavors.
and it's going to have to be converted over to the BFA because, you know, we have the faction-based.
Well, and they could
tables.
probably just really completely rename that app to be like, I don't know, like a campaign app or companion app or something like that, because they're calling this new thing the War Campaign. So
If they're really, really smart, they're going to just, the reason they might be pulling the armory down is they're just going to integrate into one solid app, which would really be the smart thing to do. It doesn't make sense that we have 2 apps anyway. So if I were them,
well, 3 apps technically speaking,
What's
because
the third app?
people that don't have the handheld authenticator, they have mobile authenticator.
oh yeah, but I don't need another. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's 3 or 4
I
different
don't even
apps.
count that as an app. To me, it's just like pretend. It's not even an app.
It's still an app.
But I do feel like it, from a World of Warcraft side, it makes sense if perhaps maybe they're going to overhaul to integrate all the stuff together, which would be really cool. I would like to, whatever app I'm using for my my table, since it's going to be faction based, right? We're going to have Alliance and Horde tables, which we've already got to check some of that out. I would like to just have it all in one. I don't want to have to pop out to chat from one app to the other as I do now, when I'm kind of lerping in guild chat when nobody thinks that I'm paying attention. So we'll have to see. It's going to be all right, guys. We're going to make it.
Well,
are you gonna
also,
make it?
I was just thinking, because you have the guild chat, maybe they're going to add WoW communities to an app or something like that too. So I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing the complete overhaul. I'm hoping.
Well, I mean, they have the BattleNet app. That would be in the BattleNet app, not the not the World of Warcraft app. That doesn't. I'm trying to follow your thought process here, and I'm trying to be your friend, and
I'm done with you.
I'm struggling. I need that Ike and Tina gift, so every time we get into an argument, I could just pop that up on the screen so people that are watching and watching on YouTube later are like, whoa, these guys are serious right now. So, you know, in the meantime, go enjoy going to the auction house. I don't use the auction house. I use the auction house in my garrison. So it's just because it has a hearthstone.
Garrison.
I just hearth there and then, you know, go do my business. For the record, I worked really hard to get that auction house guy in my garrison. Like,
I have it and I don't even use it.
do you know how long I had to stalk in Ashran? And many deaths happen. My pride is still laying on the floor in the middle of Ashran somewhere.
Then what was laying on the floor before Ashran? I'm confused.
I don't know.
You can't recollect your pride.
Well,
it just goes in the...
That's probably true. Well, can't you? Is it
I lost mine, so...
it's non-refundable pride? Is that...
It's a non-renewable resource.
That was weird. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. It might have
Wow.
started doing the intro while you were talking. How do I shut Rem up? I just start the outro. That tells him we are done. I love
That's
you.
like at the Oscars when they keep on talking and they start playing the
And
music.
then they play
like,
the
"Get fuck-"
music. And then, like, the really obnoxious actors continue talking and then talk louder. And then I think Bette Midler one time was like, I understand you guys are trying to cue me off the stage, but I'm not done. And I'm going to stand here until I'm done. And I was like, that's a diva right there. That's probably something I would do. I'd probably, like, throw the podium or something.
You'd cause a scene for sure.
For sure. There would be all kinds of scenes. Now, guys, there were lots of you who were super upset that there was nothing going on with the collector's edition. Well, it's been announced. There's a double-sided storybook. Is it Elegy and a Good War? Is that the word?
I thought bird was the word.
Obviously, it's going to have both sides, right? Because this is a Horde versus Alliance. Oh, yeah. So Christy Golden wrote one, and Robert Brooks wrote
Yeah, it was like a collaboration
the
kind
Horde
of
one. Obviously, it has the digital soundtrack. You get your game key. You get your, all the stuff that you get for pre-purchasing. You get the code for that, which includes the stuff for all the games. So it's the same as the digital purchase, except you don't get the codes until it's shipped, and all of that good stuff.
But if you did buy the digital deluxe or the standard edition, they're not reimbursing you, but they're like reducing the price, I believe.
Well, what's the normal cost for the collector's edition? Because I've never actually purchased a physical edition.
I've never bought I haven't bought a physical copy of anything since like
because the collector's edition is like $100.
Yeah, no, that seems a little bit cheaper than normal.
I feel like that's why I don't buy the collector's editions, because to me, I equate anything in life against the price of tacos, right? So if for $99 plus tax, I could get X amount of tacos versus a item that, although is nostalgic and it's good for collectors, I collect enough random stuff. Kids, friends, animals.
I mean, having the boxes is a nice sentimental value, but at the end of the day, it's going to collect dust in the house. So.
Yeah, I have some, like I have the Wrath of the Lich King one. I actually don't know where I got that. I do know where I got that. I'm pretty sure that I got it from Hots, because I think Hots was moving and it wouldn't fit into his stuff. And I was like, I'll take that. Let's just
didn't fit in his stuff. What the hell?
Because he went by plane, so he didn't like.
Oh, no, I would have made sure that one fit. I would, if I could find a Wrath collector's edition, I'd get it.
I have tons of stuff of his still in the closet. Some of his military stuff that he couldn't take. I kept all that. Like, I wouldn't throw that away, but I did steal. I've acquired quite a few World of Warcraft items on my little back thing here, which you guys can't see, I don't think. But yeah, there's quite a bit. And there is a
spoiler, there's actually nothing there, guys.
The metal Mark of Allegiance with quarter and banana for scale. Wow, okay, so it weighs under a pound, but it looks like a pretty good size.
No, I saw that item and it looks pretty legit.
It's Horde and Alliance on either, right?
It's like a double coin. Yeah, it's like a...
I like that. I think that's great.
Do I still have it? Uh-oh.
So if you bought the standard, this is very important, if you bought the standard or digital deluxe copy of Battle for Azeroth and pre-ordered the collector's edition, your Blizzard balance credit will be the price you paid for the original copy. Right? Does that sound like...
Yeah.
So they're giving you the difference back, right? On your BattleNet. Which was a question that people had because they let people do it last year, I guess, and people weren't sure. So at least now we know.
Because a lot of people were asking about that, and I think at first they said it's not going to work like that, and so people were kind of in an upward. But it's just going to work a little bit differently. But you're still being reimbursed.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I've been telling people that, so hopefully, because whatever code you get when you get this physical copy, you could just turn around and, make a little bit of money. If you have a second account, use it on that. I mean, whatever. The sky's pretty much the limit. Make a friend, buy you tacos and wait on you, and you give them your copy if they, are low on the funds. That's what I would do. I don't know if that's normal or rude, but... Is it rude?
Rude?
No, so I feel like
It's a little rude.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much like if you have that code, at least you're getting, because they're giving you the difference. So I think to me that means double the money, yeah? Like if they're giving you the difference on your BattleNet balance, you could turn around and sell that code and boom, you made money. I feel like that's...
the physical or the digital. So yeah, they're reimbursing you. It's with the Blizzard credit, so actually technically you could make that in-game gold. So
yeah, like that's good things, guys. I think it was good for the wait because you are going to get your money back one way or the other, and you can also sell the additional key, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, the BattleNet balance is pretty much priceless, especially with people that play like Hearthstone. You could buy Hearthstone packs, you could buy game time, like whatever. You're making money, which I think is
Yeah,
good.
with that in mind, you could actually buy an entirely other game.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think Blizzard did a good job there. I know that a lot of people are always upset every year because, you know, they have to do that. But, I mean, here you're getting double, so quit bitching and just be okay with it. Just smile like this. Is that a good smile? That's like my serial killer smile. I don't have a fake smile, guys. Somebody stole it. I really don't. I'm trying to think if I have a fake smile, and I don't think it actually physically exists. Which, whatever, guys. Let's not be crazy. Yeah, so the orcs and the... Oh, I was wrong. So the orcs and the Dark Iron Dwarves will be available after completing the Battle for Azeroth War campaign. The Kultaran Human and the Zandalari Trolls will be unlocked later on in the expansion. After, you know, they join one of us, right? Because we don't go to... what is it? Storm Song? Borealis? Do we start off... Maybe we went in backwards when they opened it. Borealis is where we start.
Yeah, so you will be starting on Alliance in Borealis, and there'll be a little scenario you have to go through. You learn how we're getting there, what's going on.
But they started us off in Dressfar, which is...
Yeah, so that's just because we were starting and testing that zone.
Yeah.
Where now you will enter Borealis. You'll have a choice of choosing one of the three to start out in.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. And actually,
there's a lot more going on based on this event in terms of all the content being released. Because it says the entire world is opening up as an end game space. Because Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms will be locked to factions, so...
They mentioned that the alpha testing is lasting longer than alphas for past expansions because beta is treated as an opportunity to polish features, and not all features are visible on the alpha yet. So, I mean, I thought it was a little long for alpha, but because typically, you know, they don't start opening up like all the things until beta anyway.
Yeah, it's been a little bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer, and I think that's okay. I mean, the longer they take to fix things, especially with the new feedback system they've implemented, which is genius, by the way, because really a player doesn't have an option to go and do stuff and not give feedback because it pops up in their quest window.
Yeah, it's really hard to find out exactly what they're talking about and like what they're typing. It takes
like 2 seconds, like boom, you're done.
Also, they actually found out I killed a rare, and that same pop-up came up for, was there any bugs and was there any comments based on that rare, like killing it and all that.
I used that opportunity to tell them the things that I liked about some of the questing, which I think we talked about a couple weeks ago. I had stumbled in a very dark
Salem, yeah.
A very dark situation was occurring in one of these houses, and it was like super, it was like very dark, deep, and twisted, and somebody used this specific little scenario to exorcise some major demons they were battling. But it was really, really dark, and I commented my appreciation for things like that, because I think it's nice to not just give them stuff that's wrong, but to also give them positive feedback of, I liked this. This quest didn't flow right, which there was like you had to click on these bloodfly things, and the quest didn't make sense because you clicked one and it took all of them away. So the assumption or the expectation is that you got all of those, but you really only got one. So I let them know that maybe they should either make each one clickable or, you know.
Well, and that's their whole quest design. Like I'm pretty sure that when you join Blizzard's dev team and you're on the quest design team, they tell you don't give them everything all at once, because like if you're trying to get bear livers, 9 out of 20 of them don't have livers apparently. So it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, who needs liver? Didn't we? This feels like deja vu. I feel like we talked about this, and I feel like I even said who needs a liver.
Mine hates me, so yeah.
Maybe because you drink too much.
She don't drink a lot.
That's weird. So the emissaries, which I took that as factions. I don't know what I was thinking, but you're right. The emissaries are factions, but not allied races.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess, what's the voice of Azeroth?
That will be Magni and Azeroth. Wait, Magni is the voice of Azeroth. He has that little title thing under his name.
Yeah. And of course, this is a faction conflict, but I guess Ian's final words hinted that there's more in store. I mean, let me tell you what he said first. Battle for Azeroth will be fought between the Horde and Alliance, but Battle for Azeroth is also a battle to save Azeroth. So, guys, when we say stuff like he hinted, was that really a hint? Because isn't that something we already knew? Obviously, this expansion's prepping for Old God stuff. And I think we already knew that although, yes, as Alliance, we're going to, we have to fight Horde. And as Horde, we have to fight Alliance. But I think we ultimately know that this is the big distraction expansion, right? Where we're busy battling each other, that we don't see the evil growing in the shadows.
Yeah, actually, you learn, no spoiler free, but you learn things in Stormsong Valley. And it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't been through there yet, but I think it's not really a spoiler, Ian. We kind of already know where this is taking us. Maybe everybody doesn't know, so maybe I'm kind of being rude, but...
Well, it's just funny because, not a lot of people actually realize that. Like, going through the forums, a lot of people still believe that this is not going to have any old gods, not going to have this or that. It's all about this faction war again. I mean, that is at the forefront of it, but on the background, there is a bunch of games being played, so...
I just want to find Rathian, and I want to get revenge for Admiral Taylor's garrison, because I'm still very bitter, guys. A whole expansion later, I'm very upset for Admiral Taylor, and I am offended. When we were leveling, we run into him when he's living, and I'm very, instantly emotional, because I feel like he hasn't gotten any justice. Just a journal.
He had a whole cinematic based on him, though.
Yeah, but it's not was that really justice? Somebody killed everybody in his garrison. I've never forgotten that moment of how I felt when I realized everybody was ghosts.
He had his peak during Mists of Pandaria. During Warlords, he had a dive bomb. I'm sorry.
That's hurtful. Words hurt, Rem. I don't know if you're aware words hurt.
Sometimes. Oh.
You like that face? I was just going to keep it there for a minute just because I was lazy. Yeah, he said pre-patch is likely a few weeks before actual expansion.
But then he's all like, but in the past, it's been 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think we could pretty much bank on June, guys. I'll be really shocked if it's not in June. Yeah, you'll get to deal with the burning of the blah, blah, blah in the Battle of Lordaeron, which is interesting because we need to see some of that, right? Because we've only seen the stuff in the trailers. I know there was a Horde trailer that was shown. I haven't had a chance to look at that yet. Mostly because my day did not allow me to do that. But I plan on checking that out in the morning. Mounts themed around the Night Elves and Forsaken. Which,
the most badass hippogriff ever.
Yeah, I really am excited for that hippogriff, honestly. I don't know. I should have gotten a picture of it to show you guys, but if you go check out that hippogriff, because it's pretty freaking awesome. There's going to be content in Darkshore, story-driven, quest content, replayable outdoor skirmishes. I think we're going to get a little bit more for this pre-patch than we ever have for a previous pre-patch.
Yeah.
I hope so. Oh, we'll also learn how it catches on fire. So we're not going to have to wait very long to solve that mystery.
Tinder or gasoline. Hello?
Did you say Tinder?
Yeah, like...
Swipe Tinder?
No, not swipe Tinder. Like Tinder for the flame. Like brush.
I only know that Tinder's like a swipe thing because I watched Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. And... there was a scene where she described Tinder. Anyway, If anybody's seen it, shout, because then you know the scene I'm talking about. That's the only reason I know what that's about, guys. I don't spend any time there, I promise. And then if you guys got to check out the Horde side cinematic, once again, I didn't say that, or I didn't get to see it. I think most of this other stuff is pretty much things that we already knew. Lots more dramatic cutscenes and cinematics, which is great. We don't get to see those cutscenes.
Wait.
What?
So, Mag'har and Dark Irons are coming before Kultirans and Zandalari.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm still processing all the things.
I'm backwards because they didn't start us in the zones that we start with. So my thought process is, if we are landing in Borealis as Alliance and we're landing in Zandalar as Horde, wouldn't you get both of those factions at both of those hubs?
Well, no. Because
or unless we have to prove ourselves, right? We have to
prove, like, for instance, with the Alliance, without saying any spoilers, we are either A, helping other houses besides Proudmoore, or getting rid of some enemies. So we have to go through all 3 zones.
And Zandalari, we have to, like, cure the blood god situation, because
we have to we have Gahoon. I'm not going to say anything about that. I actually learned something pretty interesting about Gahoon. And then you have the blood trolls, you have all the slaves in Vol'dun. There'll be a bunch of stuff going on.
I really need to stop letting my life control me and do things.
By the way, Vulpera are actually going to be a heavy presence in Vol'dun because they're prisoners and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I felt like, I think I knew that because when I did the pre-stuff before Alpha was even released, I think it listed Vulpera as the one of the main races there. And the Vol'dun's like all the scallywags are chilling on Vol'dun, which is where I want to be, guys. I'm not trying to be with the fancy schmancy Loa and, all the royalty. I'm trying to be where the bad boys are, because that's where it's fun.
The bad boys have Loas too, like Hakar, the Soul Flayer.
Yeah, but aren't they, like, better?
I mean, they're still Loa.
Sometimes I don't always want to fight for good versus evil. Sometimes I want to be evil and fight.
Then let's go Horde.
But they're not evil, though.
Okay, fine.
Like, sometimes I want to be the bad guy. I think they should
You're
allow...
a warlock. You're like the baddest of the bad.
I think they should allow villains. I think some characters should be legit villains. And I think that they should be... Like, what if there wasn't just Horde and Alliance? What if
There's no economy for that.
Why?
Because we're gonna kill you.
But what if the villains, if you selected the villain as like a sub race or sub something, and your whole job was to not let the other guys
Well, it's all perspective. You'd be the good guy in your eyes, so there's really never ever a bad guy.
Well, I don't want to be the good guy in my eyes. I want to be a legit,
maniacal, the Joker's a legitimate bad guy,
unhinged, cackling laugh, destroyer of worlds type of villain.
Well, you already have all 3 IRL, so you're good.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. I would like my game to imitate my real life. It's tough being a tyrant, guys.
I don't think they're going to add basketball shorts as transmog, so...
That hurts
3 for 4.
I don't know that I would actually wear the... I really like getting into my transmog situation. I completely forgot that I was farming it because life happened, but I enjoy that. There's some stuff about some of the... They talked about island expeditions and some stuff like that. I would rather go through some of the stuff because I know that they added additional difficulties and the PvP stuff is in there now.
Yeah, so
I do want to check that out, but I don't want to get too much into it until I get to actually go in there and do it since it's available. I'd like to be able to give word, on the stuff that's in there with being able to actually do some of the new stuff, especially.
Yeah, so for about 2 weeks they had it the normal and mythic available, and then they locked all others, and it's only PvP on the alpha at the moment.
Yeah, I'm in. Like, let's do it. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for this PvP situation. So there's some good things here. The honor talents will be locked by level versus prestige level, which I think is a smart idea because the prestige offers 0 value to anyone ever except
But
people
I'm prestige level 5.
like
and
shinies and like to just say that they got a thing that is like, whose line is it anyway, where the points don't matter and nobody wins.
but I love that show.
I really do love that show. So honor talents, you don't have to worry about prestiging. As you level, by the time you max out, you'll have all of your honor talents. So I think that, you know, that adds a ton of value there.
Mm-hmm. But they're bringing back Conquest. You should be excited.
So prestige is now account wide. That's all I'm going to say. Good for those that wanted it. I think that's great. I think that's awesome that people are getting what they want. I think that's important that people get what they want. Yes, my dear, I know you are into the prestige thing, which I think is cool. I don't want anybody to think that I'm insulting. I'm not. It just... it doesn't add any value to PvP in general, and I think that's why it frustrates me. So, Conquest. I was super excited when I read the word Conquest. Yeah, they're giving us Conquest back. Not in the manner that we think. Not in the manner that I think anybody really wanted. So each week you'll be able to do stuff to acquire your Conquest, and you'll be able to go purchase a random piece of gear.
So instead of it being 100% RNG, now it's going to be turn in this item to get an RNG.
They say it's important gear, right? Okay. Who's it important to? You're not the boss of me. Who the fuck are you to decide what's important to me when it comes to my gear? So you get to go purchase this thing, and you learn this thing, and it's, hey, here's a random glove, or here's a random neck piece, or here's a random helmet, or here's... Yes! You made my exact point.
Yeah, that was your biggest gripe.
Angie made my exact point, and I know Angie probably doesn't know, but the very beginning, I had a huge rant about that because people were...
It was big.
People were freaking out, and nobody wanted to work for it, and I was very upset because I thought, why would you give us this thing, which I liked. I liked that I had to go in and grind to unlock my honor talents. That was really good for me because it gave me purpose, right? And then that made the prestige matter. Like when you actually prestige, or you had to make a choice between whether or not you prestige and lost your talents to start over to do it again. Similar concept to what Call of Duty, right? I liked that idea. Nobody else did, apparently, because it was too much. It was too much work. Cool. So yes, you are correct. That is when I was in love with the idea. But with its current state, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't offer anything because they took away its purpose. Now it's just a thing to give people, you know, so that it makes them want to do the content, I guess, for all the people that don't normally do it. But I think for people who like to PvP a lot, I don't know that it adds... Outside of it gives us stuff, and it's nice to say, hey, you know, I have Prestige 20. I have guildies that got Prestige 10 by doing the world quest, so I don't know that, like, it's not even a good accolade anymore to say you have this thing because there wasn't, you didn't risk anything to get it, and it just got handed to you as you did the normal things that you do when it comes to PvP stuff, even the world quest. So
it should really be tied to your experience in the actual battleground. Like, for instance, go to the EFC. What's the EFC?
Right. I was hoping that if they were going to keep this system that they were going to give it meaning, but they didn't. But now it's account wide. So everybody that was struggling with multiple characters, I think now, you know, you can have it account wide, and that's great. And it's, you know, it's good for those guys. You know, this Conquest situation, just to get back to that for a moment. You know what? Before I even say anything, if you're listening and you're watching, I'm actually not going to say anything this episode. I'm going to say nothing I want to know everybody else's opinion. So if you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher or iHeart or Spotify, send me an email, bell@PWNCAST.tv, and I want to know what you think about this Conquest situation. If you're watching YouTube, comment on YouTube and tell me what you think. I want to know if anybody else feels the way that I do without me really giving away the feels. Like, obviously, you guys know I'm not, particularly tickled about it, but I want to know if anybody else feels the way that I do. Obviously, there's a lot of unknowns here. I don't know what the gear looks like. The way that it was worded, it seems that there's going to be specific gear. So perhaps it's not as random as the gear that you get where it's like a big difference night and day. Sometimes you might get really good gear and sometimes you might not. I don't know that it solves the overall problem, which I think the overall problem wasn't necessarily just that they removed the gear vendors. It's that there shouldn't be RNG in PvP. Not to that degree. Not when it's how you, acquire things. I don't think the sole means of gearing should be RNG. I feel like it's great that they gave us, grinding that conquest. I love having to do that, but I like to also be able to buy what I want to buy with it, and not get the random,
Yeah, no, but on that same fact, if they were to add the actual vendors back and you could choose which stats go to which item, they would need to remove the template or reduce it in some way where we actually can have some type of effect on it instead of just item level increases, template changes. AKA reforging plus.
Yeah, they're never going to put that back. And I don't even care about that. I want to be able to pick between two sets of gear. Like we used to be able to, where we had two different weapons that you could choose, and it depended on your build. You could either go an all crit build as a warlock, or you could go all haste as a warlock. Or you could mix
yes, but with the template, it doesn't matter what item you get. It's just based on the item level, though.
That's also the problem, is the template.
That's what I just
said. But like, being able to reforge isn't an issue. I don't care about that.
I just liked reforging.
I did too, because it gave us something to do. But I wholeheartedly feel like the gear should matter. And they're not fixing that. And the long story to that is, if they don't address that, I don't know, like, what reverberations happen on a long term. Like, maybe they're thinking of, their WoW esports stuff, and maybe they're doing decisions that make that better for them, which is cool. I don't really know what the fuck they're doing, if I'm going to be completely honest. And it's kind of scaring me, because I think if I have to go another expansion not enjoying PvP, Belle doesn't know what her purpose is in playing the game anymore. Like, if I have to go a whole other expansion with me disliking everything about it, unless they, like, make, like, destruction impervious to, like...
You can join Murky and I in PvP Isle Expeditions.
I try to not judge things until I see them, right? So I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. It wasn't the thing I thought they were going to announce. So we'll see. And I do want to know what your guys' thoughts are. What potentially could they do that they haven't talked about, or that might be in the works if we see that they're doing this thing? Help me stay away from the edge of the cliff in my worst case scenario. Help, kind of bring me down maybe with some of your guys' thoughts there. Because I am only seeing it from one side, and it's the inside of a very, very depressed bubble of not being able to enjoy the PvP elements. But the world PvP is going to be called War Mode. So when you toggle on your world PvP, either, in your major city and whatnot, it's called War Mode. Now, with War Mode, we've kind of talked about the possible rewards for participating. We had hoped that it wouldn't necessarily be locked to, experience and stuff like that, just, I think, for obvious reasons, but I think that the reward should be enough to incentivize people to do it, so that, there's a lot of participation there. And it seems like they are on the right track there, because you're going to get extra resources, which we don't want anything grindy, and I think that that's something that is less grindy already, just based off how easy it is to acquire the Azerite and how little the necklace I'm hoping there isn't much weight on that from like a rating perspective, because I'd hate to step into another weapon scenario where you couldn't easily alt. Because I think that this is the reason we lost a lot of our world first races, the guys that were normally involved. So I'm hoping,
Yeah, unfortunately with the new Azerite system as well, it might further that that little fault line that's been created, because as right now it's still obviously a work in progress, and the system is a placeholder at the moment, but there doesn't seem to be an easy way of changing out those talents, and it's locked to that item. So
yeah, because its job is to awaken stuff in your armor. So I think I think it's good. It's finally open to go check that stuff out, so that's actually going to be my weekend agenda, assuming nothing else in my life sets on fire or turns to shit in the next 24 hours. But I mean, I still got several hours for today, for the remainder of all of today's crash and burn, to just keep going. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. I myself will be participating in the war mode. Probably when I'm really grumpy, which is good, right? Because you want to kill shit when you're grumpy. And I think that that's the perfect time, right?
Well, sometimes, and to a certain point, if they have a full squad or full party with them, then it just makes me more grumpy. So at that point, I turned it off.
I think it just makes sure, like, you have to really plan if you're going to level with your world PvP. I'm like, I don't know that, maybe sometimes I might be feeling a little froggy, so I might want to be solo. It really just depends on what the warlock or what destruction looks like in PvP. I mean, I'm a clothy, so I don't really know that there's ever going to be, it's never going to be Miss Pandaria again, honestly. I'm never going to be at the top of that game. I'm just gonna have to
stacking stam and being at 1,000,000 health.
I did not stack stam ever.
Every destruction warlock.
No, this destruction warlock did not stack stam.
Well, then you were bad. Just kidding.
I mean, I was pretty great. It was really, really hard to kill me. Not for any other reason other than I was really good at killing you first. But I was younger then, guys. I was a little bit more. I had some more.
The carpal tunnel was a little bit less.
Yeah, the carpal tunnel does put the kibosh on a lot of activities in game. Like, I can't even go an hour now on the computer without just like barely being able to even old age sucks, guys. Blizzard also noted there will always be ways to skip ahead, so if you're a gladiator type player, shoot for top gear. Apparently when you So the way that they have this worded, every week you'll be requested to earn a certain amount of conquest points. When doing so, you will receive a piece of gear. It doesn't say you can go buy a piece of gear. It says you will receive a piece of gear, which tells me random. When you've finished with the set, you can move on to acquiring a higher tier of armor. So it would be really great if I completely misinterpreted that and it really is gear vendors, but I don't know. We'll pick that back up. Maybe I should have investigated, but I didn't have time. I don't know. Sometimes the way it's worded, it's kind of weird. What do you think, Rem?
Based on the wording, it's going to be RNG. Well, RNG on what piece you get, but
you'll be able to collect a whole set of said,
So it'll be like before, where you get the whole set, and if you're able to do the high-end tier, then you get the, what was it, the elite or whatever it was.
I think I'd still rather pick what I want to purchase. Like, what if they give me all the worst pieces? Like, the first 3 pieces are all the pieces you would normally buy last. But I guess when you think about it in that perspective, we don't have any value with gear now, so I guess I'm not really missing anything. Interesting. We'll have to see how that plays itself out. Once PvP...
I think it'll be better just because it gives us a direct... a direct view on when we're going to be able to get an item, instead of like, oh, it's been 6 battlegrounds, I haven't gotten a single PvP item from one of the chests, or every single one's been extremely low.
I don't think there should be RNG with PvP gear whatsoever, but I guess that's... I guess
Well, I told you what I thought before, where the RNG plus maybe a vendor system would be perfect
Right.
because
Maybe
an
they're
RNG
just trying to
for-
make it like PvE,
Yeah.
where all PvE gear is essentially. But it's not really, because in an X amount of runs of the same boss, you're bound to get the thing.
No,
Well, yeah.
no. I never got what was it? Deathbringer's Will from ICC.
Don't talk to me about something 20 fucking years ago.
But you said X amount of runs. I did heroic progression.
But I'm
on my
just
Death
saying,
Knight.
like, now,
Never
currently,
signed.
you could go get this gear, and you might not get it at the difficulty you want. Like, I seem to only get the normal and LFR versions of what I need for heroic, but
that normal might Titan Forge usually does.
well, there's no Titan forging anymore, right?
I know, but
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, we're gonna get the normal gear, but it upgrades a little bit.
I know I have quite a few pieces of normal that are Titan Forge and look like they're heroic, but it's a lie.
It's like they threw us a bone with a little bow on it.
Well, then I gotta adjust my chair, guys. My back. You're gonna have to hear my chair squish because I'm too
Yeah,
lazy
that's
to
a chair.
move. Oh, that was the
Oh, that was a chair again.
the chair. My back is like, oh, that feels so much better, guys. I was dying right now. I was in the upright position for longer than I needed to be. So let's talk about some lore stuff. What are we talking? Are we talking Priest and the Light?
Oh, okay.
Or
well, because
I feel like this was for our guest.
yeah. So I don't know if I should on the fly. What should we do?
What do you guys want Rem to talk about lore-wise? Anybody? Does anybody want to call my phone? Just kidding. I changed my number so nobody can call me.
I need to phone a friend.
Well, did you watch the Horde cinematic?
No, I. The only reason I knew about the release date is because you told me this
I know.
earlier. Because I was packing shit all day.
I was in the potty. That's where I was. I was going to the bathroom.
You were in the party.
Well,
Oh.
before we, maybe we could take a break with lore, because guys, this episode almost didn't happen. Because
Which would be nuts.
Huh?
Said which would have been nuts.
I know it almost didn't happen. So, which never in the history of 5 years have I ever almost canceled a show ever. But it did almost not happen. So I think it's okay if we just kind of have a little off week. We gave important information. I think it's okay to not have lore. But let's talk about the AWC Spring Finals, which we didn't, because it barely happened. I was making sure that we didn't... I don't know what I was going to say, guys. I feel like it might have been a lie.
I actually watched the spring finals, and they were
I
so
know,
good.
because you messaged me, and you were like... So he messages me,
because
and
it
he says...
was crazy. I wasn't expecting it, though. That's why it was... Oh, my God.
He says, how are you handling Dues Loss? Why you gotta message me? How are you handling Dues Loss for? And I'm like, I mean, it's just... one season finals. There's still top points, like, it is what it is. I talked a little bit about it. I was on Technically PvP's podcast, which it's up there somewhere on the internet. I maybe was a little more honest than I should have been, but it wasn't my podcast, so I could totally say more things and offend more people, which is what I strive for. But I think that the surprise, and I don't like saying the word surprise, because I think surprise makes it sound like they didn't have it in them or they didn't have the ability, but I don't think anybody expected it. Reform did take the win, and I was, pretty happy because it meant the rejects didn't win, which I'm not a reject hater. I like Seth Curry. I like Roasties. I love Rubcub. If Rubcub were to sign with Method, I think I could probably die happy because I love him. And it's hard for me to root for him because I'm Method. But I really love those guys. Obviously, they're fourth man on the roster. I can't stand. So it's nice to see... that he suffers a loss. It's terrible that I say that stuff out loud, but you guys don't love me because I'm, you know, warm and fuzzy, clearly. So I think we're okay with that. Right, Rem?
I mean, yeah, they suffered a loss, but they beat Skill Cap Black. Like, Skill Cap Black is like the top of the chain at the moment.
Well, here's the
So
thing.
I just thought that was insane.
It's true, and you know, here's the thing to understand about that is they didn't have a player. They were only a 3-man roster because Raikou could not go to the U.S. because they denied his visa. So, I mean,
Sounds like a personal problem.
If you think about it,
well,
was
Seth
it really
Curry
their fault because they were 3-man and then Ascendant
Seth
didn't
Curry
have a
didn't even play though.
It's still nice to have a 4-man roster. Honestly, though, Waz and
besides, Seth Curry can just be off the team.
Waz and Chaz are awesome, and Swapsy's X Method, and I'll always love him. I really, I dig his play style. So yes, I was a little surprised because next in line outside of Method would be Skill Capped for my next favorite, just because I was a long-time Skill Cap fan back in the day. So it's nice to it's just nice to see them in tournaments again. So yeah, I mean, Rem said Trill's on his, what did you say, on his combat rogue? Outlaw rogue?
Trill's playing an outlaw rogue. I don't know how to say
so he said, I agree. He is much more integral part of the team than Seth Curry. I agree. Angie knows these things.
Well, that's why I said Seth Curry can be off the team. I don't like him. So
I like I like some things. I really like Rub Cub though. His story is my favorite story, and I hope all of his dreams come true because they really deserve to come true. Not at the cost of, you know, my Method boys, but you know, whatever. So if anybody, I guess maybe I can work on them bringing. I would love for them to sign Rub Cub at some point because that would make all.
He's definitely shown that he's got the determination and the skill. So
he does got the skills to pay the bills.
But yeah, on that side note of Trill, yeah, I don't stalk him, so I don't know his mannerisms.
It was just really weird. I was like, what do you know about Trill to know?
It was just, well, because I wandered in a CD stream and I saw that he was doing with Mez, and I was like, who the hell is that rogue? And then I checked on Trill's Twitch, and he was streaming it, so he was on the rogue. It was just, he was even saying like, Outlaw Rogue has a lot of possibilities. I'm so bad on it though, blah blah blah. Even though he was killing everybody, but
well,
it's just convenient that they see how good it is, and now all of a sudden let's just try it out.
Here's the thing, and this is what I said very honestly. Method Orange is a great team. Each player individually is a great player. Seadu's legendary, and I think I talked on Technically PvP's podcast about Mez. I love Mez. Not even just his gameplay. He's a fucking live lord god, but not even that. He's such a great teammate in real life. Like, I've watched some of Mez's streams, and when they're doing their practices, like, he's such that, like, cuddly bear. Here, let me pick you up and carry you when you're feeling bad. Like, he really is, like, the perfect sportsman when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I think that that's important with the newer generation of World of Warcraft players. I think it's nice that we have kind of like that old soul, and I love Trill because nobody ever saw this guy coming. Like, here's this little guy.
I'm still pretty sure he's like 16.
He's from Limit, right? He's Limit Guild, which those of you that know any of the drama or follow any of the rivalries, it's really weird that it would be Limit, you know, in a Method situation. That's kind of it's like a weird thing, but he's very skilled. But what I was saying is they probably have to learn to play things that they might not want to, because with them only being a 3-man roster, they're already handicapped when it comes to swapping out comps. And even if they never used, you know, a 4th man, they're a little bit handicapped because there are things that Seadu is good at, and there are things that Seadu is not good at. And it's not an insult, guys. It's reality. And I've told you guys this many times before. He's an excellent fucking shaman. He's a great monk. He's not the best druid. Maybe he's improved. And he's openly said, you know, I'm not, these things I struggle with. So that's not going to win them BlizzCon. To be handicapped with no fourth, and handicapped in the sense of not being able to
adapt,
comp swap on a whim to be able to win.
You can't do DK Monk and double Demon Hunter back to back to back to back. Yep.
Yeah, they need to be more versatile if they're going to win, because while they're playing excellent now, and not every game all game, but who plays excellent every game all game? They needed to be better if they want to win. Because this is great for tournaments, but when it comes to BlizzCon, like, you got to step up your game, and they know that, and I have confidence. I do. I have a lot of confidence. I suffered, guys, losing Triforce. The fact that they're split up completely breaks my heart. I hate it 150%.
Don't break my heart.
It just hurts my feelings because they were like my dudes, and now they're not my dudes anymore, and it hurts my feelings. Not for nothing, though. Like, some of my other favorites, of course, I do love Super Frogs, mostly because I love all of those players. Chanimal's one of my favorites. Majidin's one of my favorites. Wealthy Man and Cubsy are also favorites.
How many favorites do you have? Jesus.
I have a lot of favorites, but I also have a lot of dislikes, right? I'm trying to show that I'm not just like... I think people think if I only love Method, that means I can't acknowledge, the other players that I like.
You've publicly expressed your liking of other people like Swapsy and...
I don't like sneakier snakes, but I do like Dill. And I think that's pretty much all I feel. I like Rosita Jones for no other reason other than I just like saying the name Rosita Jones. So that's what happened there. May begins the summer kickoff for all of that madness, and it's good because the heat makes people crazy. So when it comes to the NA side of things,
indoor
listen,
arena. Hello.
For the finals, but not for the cups. You're at the whim of your air conditioner. If they don't, they're going to need to make sure that they crank that AC.
Because they do that at home, yeah?
Yeah, people are grumpy in the heat, and I think that makes for good TV. I love to see good TV.
Yeah.
It's hard to not love Dill, honestly, Ange. It really, especially when they posted that video. He was just crazy, and he's so excited, and I love that he loves it. But it's really hard to not like him. I see him on the forums, and I see some of the stuff that he says to people on the forums, and he's a really, really positive force there. Not all the time. Sometimes he's a little bit of a butthead, but the stuff that he talks about on the forums with the Blues, and even just his conversation with other players about their gripes and stuff, he's pretty level-headed.
Yeah.
And I like to see that. I do often go check out the stuff that he says, just because I like the information that he gives, and I think that that's super important. Rem, let's talk about these Drake of the Winds. Now, the reason I want to talk about these Drake of the Winds is because there's 4 of them, and people might not know how to get all 4 of them. I know that I farmed the one that you go in and you kill like the first 2 bosses, and then you walk out and you reset the instance. But I think the Drake of the Winds, I think it's nice for people to know that, because that's nice for their mount collections.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite models of the Drakes, even though I haven't done the effort of getting them, because I'm bad. But yeah, so there's like 3 or 4 different Drakes, and it's pretty much on the compass of all the winds except I think. No, just kidding. Disregard that.
Did you say it's on the compass of all the winds? What does that mean?
On the Rosetta compass, north, east, west, south. Never eat sour wheat. See what I did?
I don't know direction. I know left and right.
Yeah, I go by landmarks. Like, oh, what? Shit, I can't.
Turn left at the Taco Bell.
No, I mean, like, for instance, in where I live, there's a mountain called Ortega. So Ortega, west is that way. But anyways, so there is the Drake of the North, the South, the East, and the West, and it's all obtainable through Cataclysm. Drake of the Northwind is going to be I believe in the Vortex Pentacle, it is the dragon boss. Alterus. I'm butchering the name, but that is like a gray bluish hue to it, and looks pretty cool. I don't know if we have, anyways. The Drake of the Southwind, that'll be from the raid from Alakir. It is pew, 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 pew.
I feel like I had I do have a picture. Hold on, guys. I got this.
It's at Throne of the Four Winds. You have to kill the minor wind lords, and then you kill Alakir, and you have a chance of getting it. Drake. Oh, and that one is, I believe, it's like a purple. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like a purple and like a teal wing.
Yeah. And then Drake of the West Wind is actually from Baradin Hold. You have to get a rep up with the Baradin Wardens, and the Alliance would be from Quartermaster Brazzy, and the Horde will be Hog in Hellscream's Reach.
I actually think the Drake of the West Wind is quite homely looking, but
The West?
yeah, I don't particularly care for that style of color.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
Like my model Drake, I like just because, you know, it's a trading card mount and it's like super prestigious and whatnot. But I don't particularly like what it looks like.
Oh, someone's found my TCG mount. No big deal.
Somebody's a little bitter. Whoa.
I want the Magic Rooster, okay?
I feel like it's just really weird for a grown man to be saying stuff like that. I feel like it's just weird.
Anyways, the last one is going to be Drake of the East Wind, and that is actually from an achievement, Glory of the Cataclysm Raider. So you have to complete achievements through the raids. I believe you have to go through Blackrock, Throne of Thunder, not Throne. Oh my God, Throne of the Four Winds, and Conclave of the Mind. I don't recall those ones. Yeah, you have to kill all the things on heroic. You have to do some of the achievements, and I'm actually going to probably do that this week. Well, maybe Sunday. We'll see if I have time. But yeah, those are some of the better looking. Also, so you have Drake of the Winds, and then the Balajar. What is it? The Paragon.
Yeah, it's the storm. It's
the Storm Drakes. Those two models for the Drakes are amazing.
I don't know. I like all the Drake of the Winds except the one ugly color, but I'm still quite partial to my Proto.
But
like
we need to paint with all the colors of the wind.
Well, we do paint with all the colors of the wind. But I am just really quite partial to my Protos.
Oh, on that note, off topic, did anyone go see them upside down?
I was curious to see if anybody went and did that. I know when I did stream, I showed people on stream and was like, look, let me show you now. And I think people did see that they were, in fact, upside down. My husband says I'm nuts, but I don't typically like to listen to him.
No, that's an actual thing. So he's
being
a hater.
I'm not going to let him control my life. He tries to control my life, and I'm not having any of it. I'm just kidding. He doesn't try to control anything. Rem, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft?
A lot, actually. I did a lot.
Yeah, so what are some of those things that you've done in World of Warcraft?
So as Angie already knows, I've been working on the allied races a little too much. And because I'm so indecisive, I actually leveled one of them to like level 50 and was like, why am I leveling this class? And I deleted it. And now I'm doing a warrior because I can just burn through dungeons and do questing and all the good things. I'm actually going to I have the mage on the bench at the moment, but I'm actually going to boost that soon because I'm actually really enjoying the mage.
Is that one that has a heritage armor that you need to be leveling instead, or no?
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it with the warrior, so I don't have to deal with anything. Here's the chair. It's okay. But I've been doing a little bit of Darkmoon Fair. I'm not collecting the tickets for any of the mounts or the dirigible or whatever people call it.
Trunch Bowl?
One, because
Trunch
the
Bowl.
tickets... Druggable?
Trunch Bowl.
Druggable, copy.
Trunch Bowl.
I'm not collecting anything for the mounts. I'm actually was showed a transmog by our good friend Travis, aka Murky. And
Wait, is he our good friend?
He's a good friend.
I'm just kidding.
Well, this is news to me.
Just kidding, Mark. I love you.
But there's actually a cosmetic tuxedo, and now I want that, so I'm getting it.
Wait, there's a tuxedo? Who has a tuxedo? Oh, but it's cosmetic. You can't.
No, I mean it's cosmetic to where you can transmog it to plate, leather, mail, cloth, blah blah blah. Now all we need is a top hat, and we're set.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm a little pissed
Darkmoon
off.
Fair and Allied races still. So
Oh, yeah. You want to take advantage of that. Darkmoon Fair is going on until the 11th?
this weekend, yeah.
This weekend. I got excited about these pirate stuffs that are coming in BFA, and then, like, they're all cosmetic. Like, they're all white.
On that note, I'm actually really disappointed that you only just now made a pirate mog. So there's that.
Well, what other reason would I need to be a pirate?
Because you can do what you want. Because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Right, but like, the story never commanded. I'm telling you, I was so...
But being a pirate...
Borealis really, like, made me want to do pirate things. Like, I want a boat. I want some hose. I want some...
Go to the Catalina wine mixer.
Fuck the Catalina wine mixer. Like, seriously. Yeah, like, I want to do, you know, prestige worldwide stuff. But I want to be on a boat, and I want an actual hat, not like a boat captain hat like I want. Or a bandana and an eye patch. Apparently, only leather wearers can get the eye patch that I really want, which is kind of pissing me off. Which is cool for, you know, my leather wearers. But meanwhile, back at the good old... Belle wants to be a cool Terran human. Now, guys, I just want to tell you that Belle's going to change into a cool Terran human, and I don't know if I can handle that.
I mean...
I really, really want to, but I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, the change... Because it was really hard for me to change Belle's name from Bella Sang to Belle. It was really difficult for me to make that decision and to do that, because you guys know I'm really attached to Belle. Like, she's kind of like my person.
She's your main bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. But I want her to be a cool Terran human because I don't know.
Because they're thick.
I mean, no. I just think, I don't know. Cool Terra seems to be my get down. Like I like Borealis. I like what I've saw and what I've kind of been through there.
Just wait till you go through the opening questing for Storm Song. It's my favorite zone.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, honestly, to be a pirate. I do have to finish my MOG. I did find it. It's a little, I don't know what the word is. I thought revealing? I took a picture to show you guys, but I'd rather just...
What is it, revealing or...
She's a little, you know...
What is it, a bikini with a little hat?
That is not pirate-esque, okay? Pirates don't dress like that, Rem. God, how many Pirates of the Caribbean movies have you seen?
Well, they're mostly men, so I hope they're not wearing a bikini. So.
I mean, I feel like that's something Murky would do. Yeah, see, Ange feels the same way I do. Like, I'm
attached to the name, not the character.
No, I'm all in with Belle.
Well, I know you guys are, but for me, it's like
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I've never, like, you know, I would never change her to anything unless I could keep her human. I just want her to be human. So with them giving us cool Terran humans, it gives me the option to have something new and fresh on Belle, whether it's, you know, changing up what she looks like. I actually haven't looked at any of the customization options for the body type for the cool Terrans. Not my fault. This weekend I plan on getting Yeah, see? Murky knows. He's probably in a bikini right now. But I haven't had a whole lot of chance to test some of this stuff in BFA because I haven't had an opportunity, but this weekend is going to be all about me and my needs, and that's going to be on that list of needs. So I promise I'll have a better understanding of the things that I want. And I'm going to go check out that stuff anyway. So I tried to tell you we were basically twins. I told Angie like a couple weeks ago, she's seriously like my twin. And it is a good thing. There needs to be more of people like her and I around the world. But I really do feel like her and I are twinsies. Yeah, we're twins, guys. We go together. What else did you do? Did you, besides your leveling stuff?
I did actually legitimate testing on BFA. Like I said, I went through Storm Song, and I've gotten a huge chunk out of that area, and that's my new favorite. Maybe not in the entire game, but it's the top 3 based on just the visuals alone. Like it is.
Is it better than Suramar because
it's not like it's not like luxurious. It's just majestic.
Like, Borealis is a good second just because Borealis is kind of like my get down anyway.
For city-wise, yeah, for sure.
Because it reminds me of, like, Grizzly Hills and, like...
Okay, so Storm Song, because I don't have screenshots or I don't know, spoilers or whatever, if people don't want to know what it looks like, but imagine Valley of the Four Winds mixed with Storm Peaks.
Interesting. Well, and there's some there's some Storm Peaks and Grizzly Hills vibe going on in...
Oh, for sure, the Grizzly Hills.
In Borealis, because, like, there's snow parts, and when I went up there to go check it out, because I was like, this is fucking awesome. I get the best of both worlds. I dug the vibe, and Storm Peaks is arguably, outside of course, Suramar, Storm Peaks is my, like, original favorite place of all the places. So... I just really like the vibe, and I really like the music in both Grizzly Hills and Storm Peaks. And of course, you guys know I'm obsessed with the little, what are they, the furbolgs? Furbolgs,
yeah.
Yeah. And there's a tree. I don't know if anybody's been to Grizzly Hills, but there's this giant, it's a world tree, is it not? That's in half?
It was a world tree that Major Domo Staghelm tried to use to fight back a Saronite growing. Saronite was pretty much like an outstretched hand from Yogg-Saron, so it's bad things. And it got corrupted. They had to chop it down. And yeah, bad.
Well, inside this chopped down old world tree, the Furbolg guys have built little homes. It's very like Grizzly, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears type of vibe. But they have all these little huts in these little homes, and it's like this little like city.
So do they have porridge or something? Or?
Maybe, but they have this like this little city, and I like to just go hang out there. And then of course we talked about this before. There's the log ride, the actual physical log ride that you can ride the log all the way down, which is super fun if you've never done it before. Make sure it's one of those things that a lot of people don't know about. But you go see the little lumberjack standing at the top of where the water ride is with the logs, and you just hop on and it takes you all the way down. Super fun. Just little things that we didn't, I don't want to say we didn't enjoy, but we forget exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, Borealis is my jam.
I even know. Yeah.
I'm going to have to go check out the new map then, because I was looking for something in BFA that was going to knock me off my feet like Suramar did.
I don't know if knock you off your feet, but like I stood at the opening of the zone for about like 5 minutes just enjoying the view.
I'm gonna check that out this weekend, see what's what. I need to do stuff anyway because I've been not doing my job. When Rem knows more about an expansion in alpha than I do, that's a problem, guys, because it's usually the opposite, because he doesn't really have a lot of time because work. So I just haven't, I don't know, maybe I'm having a midlife crisis. For me, for World of Warcraft, I didn't really do a whole lot this week. I'm going to be really honest. It is one of those weeks where I logged in to do, I always make sure I log in every day to do the the little stuff that I need to do and check on the guild and do that kind of thing. But I have not actually played or not necessarily just for time's sake, just mentally all over the place. So I'm looking to change that though. There's not a whole lot left for me to do on Bell or Reckon Bell. I just need to I need to complete some stuff on the mage because the mage still doesn't have the mount, and then I need to get my alts done and quit dicking around. Like, Belisand needs to be leveled. I just need to quit squirreling and get it done. I was hoping to have the DitchCon teaser ready by today, but it's not going to be ready until this weekend because there's still some minor tweaks that I need to make to it. But it's going to be
not really, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to change it 40 times till I get it just right. But it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited to show it live sometime.
She cannot one bit.
Yeah, no, I can. There are times when I can control it. There are times when I just let it go and enjoy the ride that the squirrel takes me. But there are times when I can control the squirrel, and it's usually I get about 4-5 hours after I take my meds in the morning, and then I'm pretty good, and then downhill. Arguably, I've let the squirrel just run rapid and have not attempted to rein it in. I feel like maybe I might be depressed, but I'm not really a depressed individual, so maybe I'm not depressed. Maybe I just need more tacos in my life. Honestly,
well, like I said, there's tacos coming tomorrow, so.
Honestly, I need a vacation. I need an actual legitimate vacation, like away from my phone and responsibility and like just doing something that isn't nothing. Like I need
like gone for like 2 days tops.
Yeah, because like I've never BlizzCon, while it's a vacation, really isn't. I do a lot of work at BlizzCon, so it's not. I don't even get to really relax until Friday, Saturday. The first half of the week
after
is
con.
Yeah, it's just like busy. So I feel like maybe I need 2 days where I go. I don't really know what I would do because I don't like being outside, but I feel like maybe even if I just sit at home and unplug, I don't know that I have that ability either, but we'll see. It's not that big of a deal. It's just random real life stuff and Bell shit show of a life. But this weekend I'm going to focus on some BFA stuff so that I can really get back to that grind. And it's time to get hype. Like it's a hype time when we're on the cusp of being able to check all that stuff out and see some new things and new visuals. And it's going to be interesting to see who comes back friend wise. Like we've lost a lot of friends along the way to unsubs and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see who comes back.
Been a long...
No, we're not going to do that because that's going to make me want to hang myself. So with that being said, I wanted to do, I wanted to give you guys what you need to be doing before BFA, but I'm not done with that list. Wowhead has a really nice list, but there's some stuff I want to add on to that. So probably going to do that next week and maybe, because I'm doing a video for Method, although I was supposed to do the video a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to be working on that. So I'll have all my research done from that.
So the announcement for the announcement.
Right. But yeah, we'll probably do that next week. It was really more to you, Rem, I suppose, because you're reading the notes and I put it in the notes. I was trying to be a good co-host.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's about that time to wrap things up. Since we don't have a guest, we get the opportunity to not have a 2-hour show, which is going to make some of you sad and some of you are going to rejoice. And honestly, I need, I need some alcohol, honestly. I really do need... Send me all your Patron. Bring your Patron, Rem. Rem,
you have a full bottle.
You will be seeing Rem from a different visual next week because he's moving down here to where I live. He's going to be living with my brother, which is great because I'll have both assholes in one place.
In the same house.
Which I think makes it easier to ignore them because they're together, right? Does that sound...
No, because now we can make a conniving little plan to fuck with you.
I know, my brother said he was going to kidnap me and make me go to his house because I don't ever go over there. And I'm like, your house, I don't go to people's houses. They have germs. He always wants me to go over there for dinner.
He wants to drive your car, so now we can...
Well, I can't eat dinner at other people's houses. I don't know if you wash your hands when you prep food. I don't know what's on your counter. I don't know what's in your bathroom. Like, I cannot eat food at other people's houses.
Then we pick up tacos, and then, boom, done.
Yeah. He wanted me to do a thing, and he's like, if you do this thing, come over and I'll make you tacos. First of all, me having to get in my car and go drive to you for you to do a thing for me is not any more convenient than me sending my husband to, you know, Filiberto's or something to get tacos. So, just want to throw that out there. It's not convenient.
Filiberto's.
Yeah, so you guys will be seeing him from his new situation. Maybe my niece will be quiet while the show is going on. Maybe she won't. Occasionally you might hear her scream because she is, for all intents and purposes, definitely related to me. She has a lot of my tendencies. So she's a little bipolar.
I already know how to keep that all.
She laughs and cries at the same time. She's
that is you.
Yeah, she's like a little tiny bipolar version of me. But we're excited because better internet and maybe a happier Rem because he's super grumpy. We don't really know what's going to happen. The sky's the limit.
A little scared.
Well, what I was thinking of, if I'm being 100% honest, is I envision like me changing this room into where like we can maybe change up. I don't want to say each episode because we have guests, so, but I think it would be kind of a cool idea if you and I were like in the same room. I could make like a little, like we could have like a recording studio because I got this new camera, the DSLR. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, DSLR.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it stands for, but yeah, DSLR.
I don't know what it stands for either, but I bought it because, you know, it's all the rage, right?
It's something stabilizing something.
Yeah, so I got this like nice, and I have a long one.
That's what she said.
I want to get a cam link, the Elgato cam link, so that I can change my camera to this when I'm doing for like videos and stuff. But yeah, so I'm thinking like we could totally green screen, because I'm buying a green screen, and we could turn this into like a little like studio. No? Are we not liking that idea?
I have to think about that one.
I don't know. I just thought like it kind of changes the elements a little bit because we'd be, I don't know. Guys, I don't know. Just ignore me. They're mad ramblings of a warlock. But this is my fancy new camera. It's my new toy. There's about 120 pictures on here already because my husband's like, oh, you got a fancy camera and now you think you're
a photographer.
And I'm like, well,
now you're going to make an Instagram, Belle's Photography.
Well, it is going to set the bar for our BlizzCon pictures up a notch because, as you see, the whole reason I wanted this thing is because it has something that goes around here, so I'll always have the camera, which I'm super excited about. But I think maybe Blizzard tries to not let you in with the camera, but hopefully I can score media passes.
Oh, digital single lens reflex.
Digital single. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, what does that mean?
It means digital single lens reflex. Don't fucking know. It's digitally reflexing on all the lenses. Well, the single lens.
Well, I know that all I see is the word. It's digital with a. Well, it's got this like it zooms out and does stuff, and then it's got a setting for food. Like if you're taking a picture of food.
Oh God.
Which I'm assuming you probably need like a different type of light. But I was like testing all the different settings and all of that stuff because I'm also going to use it for the DitchCon stream. It's going to be pretty nice, assuming I can get the sound to do what it needs this year, which we're working on. Me and DJ Grains, who's my sound guy, we're going to be working on that. Anyway.
Oh, speaking of, I'm going to throw him under the bus really quick. He messages me and goes, Sea-Doo needs to retire.
Why would Christian say that? I feel like he said that to me in a text message also. And I'm pretty sure I told him to fuck off. Like, I would have to go back and look at the message to make sure.
That was funny because it's completely random. I was like, what are you even talking about?
I didn't even know he was watching. He did send me that text message. He did say Cedu needs to retire. And I said, you need... I think I told him to go to hell was, I think, my official response was go to hell. So I feel good about that because I stood up for what I believed in. Guys, it's been a day. It has been a day. Next week, I think we might... I don't know what we're doing next week for guests. I had an idea. I did get a yes from the 2 people that I wanted to bring on next week, but I forgot that they're not America. So I'm trying to work with their times because they are UK. And I knew that, but I didn't make the connection there. He was supposed to be on today, but he had a day of stuff and was running behind in things, and his stream didn't end before the show, and I couldn't push the show back because, like, when we get off here right now, I'm not going to go to bed because I'm not ready for bed, but I have to do check the release, and I have to go QA the stuff that was live released for my department before the customers wake up in the morning to test what was released to make sure nothing's broken. More information than you guys really needed, but
oh yeah, because they like to do that on Friday morning.
Yeah, so we do our releases Thursday night, so he just texted me and told me that he was about to do the release. But anyway, guys, it's been a great time. Honestly, I have really missed it just being Rem and I feel like it's less hectic, and I think it's nice that sometimes we can sit down with you guys in an intimate fashion and not always have to have a guest. Guests are very, very stressful for Belle. Because if Belle's having a bad day of any sorts, I have to be not in a bad Belle mood, but I have to, it's just a little bit more work. Right?
More laid back a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes I like to just chill and talk about DSLRs and not DSL. Just want to make sure I'm clear about that.
No, DSL bad.
And like,
DSLR good.
Sometimes I want to make inappropriate jokes and not have to worry if that person's going to judge me because I'm inappropriate. So, yeah. And I got my Chaos Bolt shirt on, which is not really a Chaos Bolt shirt, but I tell people
it's a skull with a snake.
Well, it's like a, it's the
skull with this.
It's very reminiscent, but it's not. It's like a $5 shirt. And
well, now it can't even be the Chaos Bolt because unless that's the first iteration of it, it's not even going to be a dragon thing. It's going to be
it's really... Before we go, it's really funny that you say that because last year I wanted a Warlock tattoo. Well, I still want a Warlock tattoo, but I was going to get the Chaos Bolt.
It's a good thing.
I'm pretty sure my headphones just turned off. Hold on.
Now we can talk.
Guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys. We're going to be okay. We're going to make it.
So... on the news of tattoos, who in here has
Did I not charge it?
Tattoo?
Hold on. Oh, crap.
Oh, God.
Did you guys hear me? Okay. Are we okay?
All bad.
Hello?
All bad.
Okay. That was actually kind of funny.
I was talking about a tattoo.
So I wanted to get the Chaos Bolt. And... I messaged a good friend of mine who no longer works in the World of Warcraft. He doesn't work for World of Warcraft anymore. He works for Hearthstone. But I had messaged him and I was like, I want your opinion. And I had sent him a few different variations of what I thought would be really cool. And he said, look, I'm about you getting a Warlock tattoo. But this was when he was working for World of Warcraft. He goes, what if we change the Chaos Bolt? And I was like, why would you guys do that?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Like, why would you change something that's great already? Like the dragon, it's perfect. I love it. It's not really a dragon. It's like a...
Well, it's more a dragon than anything else.
It's like... Do you remember in the movie Ghost? When the bad, souls come for who didn't go where they were supposed to go, and they, carry you? No?
Patrick Swayze, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I'm thinking.
So
right.
like the ghosts like carry. To
Yeah.
me it's like
Yeah, they make
the
the weird
demons.
noises.
It's like the demons from below. To me, that's what the Chaos Bolt is. I always assumed that it was like it's like a demon that comes from
No
below.
wonder you are so keen to it.
Right. But he had kept, and I said, well, I mean, what are the odds of you guys, like, you guys have already changed it a lot over the years. And he was like, you just never know. He goes, if you love that style, and even if they change it, you're okay with it. He goes, but if I were you, I would kind of stay away from that and, like, the icons and stuff like that, because that stuff changes. Then, the Chaos Bolt animation is different. It's not bad. It isn't what it used to be, but I think it's pretty. So yeah.
Well, do you like the Warlock like crest?
Yeah, but what if they change that?
Well, I mean, I'm okay. The priest crest, even if they change it, that's my favorite.
Oh, the version, yeah. I do want to get something. I haven't decided what it is yet. Because I want something Nightborn related also. But yeah, so he was warning me, and I'm really glad I listened. He's a good friend. Yeah, he kept saying it, and I was like, you're just saying that because you work for them. Like, you just probably discourage anybody getting tattoos of World of Warcraft. And he was like, no, I just want to, like, you just need to be aware that it's a, And I'm like, okay. But now I love him because he saved me from
a good tattoo. Oh boy.
I know. Damn. Guys, we're really leaving this time.
Oh yeah, we said we were gonna leave a little bit ago. Wow.
We'll be back. Like, we're gonna be
with a vengeance.
I don't know about a vengeance, but well,
because we're gonna make a new team, the Revengers.
No. Guys, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Thanks for being a part of whatever it is we're doing here. And I appreciate and love each and every one of you. And I know I didn't stream this week, and I apologize for anybody that, was sad or wondering. I had personal stuff going on.
Yeah, they were stuck with me. Huh, you got to save them.
Well, I had personal stuff going on, and I choose to not stream when I have personal stuff going on. So, because I wear my emotions on my face. And while I can fake it for, what have we been doing, an hour and 50 minutes now? I can't do it for like a 3-4 hour stream. So I should be back at it next week, hopefully. Yeah, but we're going to get out of here for real this time. Like, for realsies. For
Rizzles.
Thank you for spending your hour and a half, 2 hours with us this week.
Oh, no.
No?
No, my camera freaked out.
Oh, well, I faded out. I was trying to do it when you were talking like I did the first time on accident. I was trying to move my window and it like hit. So when you watch the playback, you're going to see like...
I know, I saw it because
Oh, did you see it? There's like 2 seconds where it started to fade. Connor for real? What? That's my dude. I should change my name to Connor for real. Do you suppose that that's like...
I don't believe it's copyrighted.
It might be. Did you pack? Are you packed? Are you ready?
No, literally